Hydration weekly roundup. So we had 5 days of looking at hydration, a crucial aspect of health, and one that I'd put right up there with sleep, for the simple reason that small changes can have a dramatic increase in your health and well-being. And what you also realize is the unfortunate flip side of that, where to scale slightly back from optimal can lead to big problems. Now, we're not here to motivate you with terror or anything like that. So, how do you start? What is the way in with hydration? Because if I'm honest, for many people, there's two problems. They have no idea where they are on the map, and that's a big issue for making any change or progress. And I think an even bigger one is if you look at the research, for quite a few of us, I'd say a significant amount, the thirst mechanism is so weak that we actually eat when we're thirsty. And obviously that would explain quite a lot of health issues. So, how do you get back in tune with self? That's a great question on many levels. First and foremost, what did we look at? You cannot manage and therefore improve that which you do not measure. Now, again, I don't have it on because it's on charge in front of me, a Fitbit. It doesn't matter which device you have. Most of them, I believe, will allow you to track water even if you don't have the respective device. For example, you can download the Fitbit app. You can go to hydration and you've got 250, 500 and 750, depending on glass size and intake. And you click on that, you add it in, it gives you a daily tally and it gives you a weekly overview. My recommendations are to do the weekly tally to get yourself on the map. And if you realize, and let's be honest, you start where you start. You can't start anywhere else. It's not about making it better and then jumping in, like getting fit and then joining the gym. You start where you start. So let's say that you are a couple of teas and coffees and you randomly think, oh, hydration, and you have a glass of water. And let's say that you're on 1 litre. It's not great. You're probably not going to die. Would you have some minor health issues? Probably. You can do better, and I think that's the reason. How can we get most people into that sweet spot of 2 to 3 litres a day across time that has an incredible impact physically, mentally, recovery, energy, focus, even kind of repairing muscles after activity and things like that. There's a huge benefit to optimal hydration. Now, recommendations here. You cannot change what you don't measure. So spend a week establishing baseline. Therefore, boom, you're on the map, 1.2 litres daily. Great. Then improve it gradually. There is no point going from 1 litre to 3. 2 things. You can start to flush out a lot of the good stuff, but more importantly, you'll be in the toilet all day long. Next, you cannot drink what you don't have access to or bring with you. Couple of props today. Water bottles. Get a good one. I can't remember the name of it, BF something or other. It's basically the toxins in it, you're not going to drink them, so it's fully approved. Look online. You can get these for reasonable price. Now, I realised that the only time I actually ever took a drink with me, and I used to spice it up with some bits and pieces, was when I took the mountain bike to the forest. That was my thing, that was my go-to, that was a hobby, that was a large part of fitness. I loved it. It was me and the open trails out in fresh air, wonderful. But anywhere else and every other time, I could go hours without drinking, and I recently realised this was a huge problem. Motivated by my 5 and 7 year old, where we've instilled habits in them which they largely have taken on board independently for the most part. They have their own bottles, they have their own little mini rucksacks. Make it portable. You may not have a pocket large enough for this, obviously. We don't like our hands taken up, do we? We like them free to do stuff. So it's usually a quick decision not to take water because we don't want the burden. So how can I reframe that? For me to put that in a tiny little bag like this is a camelback with the bladder taken out. I mean, literally it weighs nothing. And with this in here and with the padding, you do not notice it on your back. So here's a way in for you guys. If you've realized, oh goodness me, I have 2 cups of tea, and if I remember, I'll have a glass of water, and I've just realized I've potentially got all of these issues. Not life-threatening, but where you'd like to be at 5, 6 or 7, you realize you're way down in the 2s and the 3s, and we're looking to nudge you forwards. A mini rucksack, a bottle, and what do? Well, you take it with you if you're traveling, if you're seeing friends, if you're out shopping, if you're on a car journey. The biggest thing that I realized looking back on my past, and this is how you take ownership, is I never ever had water with me. So that becomes a huge problem. Dehydration is almost a default, where the last thing you want to do is neck a couple of litres at the end of the day because you know it's going to impact your sleep, you'll be in the toilet, it don't feel good. It's the extended time periods where you take on nothing that are the problem. And for those of you at home, have this on the desk next to you or in front of you, and do what you have to do. Set a reminder, have a calendar thing, have a reset on a stopwatch or a timer that pings you every 20 to 30 minutes. Because what it is, it's the glug, 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 spaced out sequentially that makes the difference, rather than the negligence subconsciously, because we don't realize we're doing it. And then Steve said, and I'm doing my new hydration challenge, and it's 6 o'clock in the evening, you've come back from work, you've completely forgot, your bottle's left on the side, you forgot to take it with you. You cannot drink what you don't have, so make the effort. Take the bottle or 2, take the tiny rucksack. You may have a large inner pocket or something. I've seen people use carabiner, like a small climbing hook, and clip it on their belt. There is a way in if you sit there long enough to find the way in. My advice, look at the stats. Look at the benefits of good hydration, look at the long-term and short-term implications and potential consequences of being way below optimal. Look at how you can establish a good level where you are meeting your needs at an acceptable and responsible level. And that Goldilocks zone for most people, that bell curve, is about 2 to 3 litres a day. Now, just to close, you don't need to go from no water to 3 litres of water. You're going to get it from tea, from coffee, from juice. A huge amount will come from food, largely your vegetables, fruits. If you think of kind of cucumber, melon, definitely fruits. Good energy boost pre-training as well. My recommendation is establish a baseline, improve it gradually, 250 millilitres a week until you get to that optimal 2 litre zone, and realise, and I think this is the take-home message, if that bell curve of most of us simply added in 2 to 3 glasses that we currently don't, you will notice the long-term impacts of that over time, and the difference will be incredible. Physically, mentally, you're talking skin, you're talking repair, you're talking energy, focus. You wash your car on the outside, yeah. The water does the same inside. It flushes out a lot of gunk, which is why having too much can flush out a lot of the good stuff. Aim for the sweet spot. You can make it as difficult as you need to. 2 litres, increase gradually, set up reminders and habits so that you can take it with you. Hope that helps.